Okay. Welcome to A Long Time Ago. My name is Adam Long. I'm joined, as always, by Martyn Long.
Hey.
How's it going? You okay?
Not too bad. Yeah, good. It's been a while.
Yep. Judging by your room, you've had a few additions to the collection.
Yes, as General Grievous would say. Yeah. We'll get into that a bit later. But yes, it's been a busy month.
Yeah. It clearly has. Yeah. And it's also been a busy week. Where do you want to start? Should we start with our auction? We've been doing well. We had our auction episode last week. I should say we did film a whole load of footage to go with the auction. We were going to make a nice video of us out and about actually doing the car boot sale, the secondhand Star Wars challenge. All the items are obviously on auction on eBay now. Please check those out and bid on all of mine. That'd be great.
I'm the one that needs the help.
well, we'll get to that. It was good. We tried filming it, but when I came to edit the footage, it was just not good enough. The audio was all crap and it all went a little bit wrong. Go on.
It made Zack Snyder's shaky cam look good.
Yeah. We wanted to release a video. We might put some clips of the footage out if there's demand for it, which I can't imagine there will be, but we had a good time anyway. You won't be able to see it.
We just wanted to mention that, didn't we? Because watching the video back of us talking about what we'd got, we kept saying, "Oh, in the footage you'll see," and you can see in the footage we had a great time.
In the video, we were really enjoying ourselves. Yeah, as you can see. But yeah,
if you could hear or see us, but yes, we were having a great time.
Yeah, we did have good fun. We did the challenge, and all our items are now listed on eBay. Shall we get into how they're doing?
I won't give individual prices and things, but just at the halfway point, or roughly the halfway point, just as a reminder, if you haven't seen last episode, I ended the challenge minus £42.50. So in order for me to make profit, obviously I need to make £42.50 or more. I'm currently, with what's been bid on the items that I bought, at minus £31.50. So I believe that's £11 I've made so far.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but I can't see me in the last 4 days making up £31.50. So it's not looking great.
Well, this is the thing. There's snipers on eBay, isn't there? And I feel like it's all going to change in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I think that's when the action's going to kick in, right?
Either that, or people are going to forget, and everything that's on there for 0.01p will sell for 0.01p.
That would be devastating.
It would. But anyway, Adam ended the challenge on minus £15, and he's currently sitting at minus £5.30, and there's just no chance in this world he's not making a profit, I'm afraid.
You think?
With that number? Oh,
well, I've already made my money back on the figure. If things stand. So
if that figure doesn't go for £25, I'll be very surprised.
You think? Yeah, I don't know. I maybe not that much, but
no. But that's as much. It's looking good for you. But you never know. Something crazy might happen. But well, I think in the next episode we'll do a more a breakdown of each individual item, and then everyone can laugh at me.
I don't know. I think there were a few choice picks, but the thing that I laughed about most was your Grogu socks and shower gel gift set, and that's actually got quite a lot of bids on it.
That's my highest. That's my highest bid, I think, at the moment.
I mean, it's getting towards Christmas, isn't it? So
it is.
That's obviously where that's coming good.
I've had a lot of messages taking the mickey out of the socks and shower gel, and I do have a modicum of satisfaction at the fact that actually that's doing a lot better than everybody else thought.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. So that's how that's going, which is always fun. We put that podcast out last week. If you haven't seen it or listened to it, please go back and do, because it was good fun. There was a lot of banter going on there, wasn't there?
It was. I think next time because we're definitely gonna do this again because we enjoyed it so much. But I think next time perhaps we should say you have a certain budget, but you also have to have an exact number of items that you purchase, so that one of us doesn't get 7 like I did, and one of us only gets 3. Perhaps we say you have to have 3 items or perhaps 4 items each, and then that might lead you into having to buy something not so great because you've got to reach the 4 items. But that's for another show.
We do definitely need to fine tune it somewhat, I think. But
definitely.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. Yeah. It's a good start, and hopefully next time we can get some footage to go with it that's actually worth looking at. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, it has been a busy week. We did that podcast last week, and we decided to skip episode 7 of Andor. So we're going to talk a bit about that now. We've had episodes 7 and 8, as well as Tales of the Jedi, which I know you're quite excited to talk about because it was pretty cool.
It was very cool.
But shall we go through Andor, some little notes about Andor episodes 7 and 8? First?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because we're so behind the curve and there's probably been hundreds of other people that have already talked about those episodes on YouTube already, I think perhaps we just do some bullet points, but
and just give our general thoughts for anyone that cares to hear them.
I mean, I thought they were fantastic episodes. 7 was excellent, kind of the aftermath episode from the heist, concentrating a bit more on the Imperial investigation. That was really cool. And 8 obviously was kind of like a modern day prison drama, which is also excellent.
I think that sort of leads on to the next arc, doesn't it? We're going to see a prison break of some sort. Definitely. And, well, hopefully.
I think in the trailer we saw them all running in those corridors to escape prison. I assume they were trying to escape prison, but that was in one of the trailers, so we've got that to look forward to. So that'd be really good.
Yeah, I don't remember that personally.
No, there's only a couple of things that haven't been on screen yet, and it's quite late in the show for them to still have stuff that hasn't appeared yet that was in the trailer. So that's interesting. Andy Serkis turning up, that was a real surprise.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at that. When he came in, I was like, I recognise him. It looks like Andy Serkis, but I thought he was taller than that.
I mean,
he's not that tall, is he?
He's not, no, and it was a real surprise because these things get leaked so quickly these days that
there was no mention, was there?
Not at all. And I thought it was quite funny that when the sequel trilogy came out, everyone was saying, "Oh, this is Snoke. This is Snoke. This character is going to end up being Snoke," and he actually has appeared now. So, of course, now on the internet, he's going to be Snoke, which is quite funny.
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah,
no, he's not. But it's quite funny.
Yeah. No, obviously not him. But I forgot that he actually played the part of Snoke throughout the film. So episode 7 as well. I was going to mention the KX units, are they?
Oh yes, the KX,
the droids at the end, of which we obviously know from Rogue One. That was cool seeing them.
Did you for a split second think, "Oh, this is going to be K2SO"?
Yeah, of course.
I did. I was instantly, "Oh, this is where he gets K2SO."
I thought, how's he going to reprogram this guy?
Yeah. That was really good.
But yeah, I was going to say that whole scene at the end where they're running along that beach, it was again really different to a lot of Star Wars sort of things, apart from when you see the troopers. Is it a sand trooper? Shore trooper?
It's a shore trooper, yeah.
Shore trooper, yeah.
I think that's actually our release on Twitter tomorrow morning, the shore trooper.
Oh, right. Nice. And I was going to mention the music in that was unlike anything we've heard. It almost doesn't go in a Star Wars program.
No, it's like everything, isn't it? It's trying to really mix things up a bit, isn't it? It's really good though. I enjoyed it. I didn't. The whole time I was listening to it, I didn't think, "Oh no, this isn't very Star Warsy." It kind of just felt like it should be there.
It was, I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
That beach planet, that was a holiday resort near Blackpool. That was
Was it
filmed at.
really?
Yeah, I think it's Cleverleys, but I'm not 100% sure. A beach resort called Cleverleys, and you could tell it was the UK because they was all meant to be looking really hot and sunny. Yet in the background, you could see characters' hair blowing all over the place, and they were looking pretty cold.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I assumed it would be like Portugal or something, but yeah.
no. Yeah, I think it was filmed in the UK pretty much entirely.
The whole thing. Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
That's mad. Question: Who's Tay?
Tay,
Mon Mothma's friend from
I don't think
the early days. I recognise the actor as well, but
I recognise the actor, but I didn't look up who he was. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think we definitely haven't seen him before. Anyway.
We haven't.
No.
Okay.
In Star Wars canon, but I got a feeling after Episode 8 when he was struggling to hide the money a little bit. He was saying, he's managed to hide some of it, but some of it was still out there. I get the feeling that he's going to get caught by the Empire at some point, but he's going to cover from on Mothma and he's going to end up dead.
Yeah.
We're coming to the point now where there's so many characters we're going to have to do another Dead or Alive, especially with all the prisoners.
I did think that. I actually listed a few to see. Yeah, are we going to do a Dead or Alive on these guys?
I don't think so. I think we can pretty much guarantee that Melchi and Andor possibly be the only two that get out alive, because obviously we've seen Melchi in the Rogue One. He plays obviously one of the I think he's a sergeant in the troopers that go down to Scarif, and he was one of my favorite background characters as well.
I was going to say, which one was he?
He's the one who's basically put in command of the ground assault on Scarif while Jin and Andor and K2 are off getting the plans. He's the one who's in charge of all the troops on the beaches.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, and I've always had a history of loving the background characters. I always loved them ever since I was a kid. For some reason, I gravitated towards Admiral Peart, who's the admiral in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
And he commands the Superstar Destroyer. And I mean, he doesn't have many lines, but as a kid, I always kind of gravitated towards these side characters in Star Wars, and Melchi was another one. After I think it was the second viewing of the Rogue One, I was like, oh yeah, he's one of my favorite characters. But again, he didn't really do too much. But I think
so little, in fact, I couldn't even remember him.
No, a lot of people have said that to me actually.
Yeah.
But I think at the moment, just judging the last two episodes, my favorite storyline's got to be Deirdre and the ISB storyline.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that.
Definitely.
And it's really bad because I kind of want them to find out who it is and stop them, because I'm really rooting for them now. I don't know.
That's typical, that is.
Yeah. I keep thinking, and I also think Palpatine, there's a slight possibility he might show up now. Just a little bit. I thought at the beginning, as I said to you, I think there's no way he's going to.
No chance. No.
But
possibly they've made mention of him on a fair few occasions now, haven't they? So yeah.
And another character that turned up was Admiral Yularen, who was the head guy in the last two episodes in the ISB, the admiral who was getting the reports.
Yeah,
and and I don't know if you know who he is, but we saw him first of all as in A New Hope. There's that scene on the Death Star with the table and all the Imperials are sat around it, and Darth Vader comes in and chokes Admiral Motti.
Yeah.
Well, Admiral Yularen sitting in I think 2 seats over from Admiral Motti in his white ISB uniform, and he doesn't say anything. He literally just see him as a background character.
Yeah.
Well, they then introduced him in the Clone Wars as Captain Yularen, I think, and he was always the one who commanded the Star Destroyers during the Clone Wars. Okay. He's one of those characters who's in loads and loads of episodes, and as soon as you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course it's him.
That's him. Yeah.
And he also
doesn't have a lot of dialogue.
Oh, he has loads of dialogue in
does
Rebels.
he?
Yeah, absolutely loads. You always get
in Rebels.
In Clone Wars. And he's the one that's always getting angry with Anakin because he doesn't stick by the book, when he's doing missions and things. And he also turns up in Rebels as well. So he's got quite a rich history, and it was nice to see him again in live action turn up in this. So it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, really good.
And they've got the actor to look similar, have they? Or
well, I'll send a picture over for you to show you the 4 looks from the 4 shows he's appeared in, and he doesn't look it doesn't look great in terms of likeness, but it's fine. You know, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just nice to have the character back.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, in my show notes, I've written there were a lot of wacky aliens. I can't actually remember it, to be honest. It was a couple of weeks ago, and I can't really remember anything from 2 days ago, let alone 2 weeks. There was, they were back on Ferrix. There were new aliens, and there was a new planet, Niamos. Is that, I'm assuming, Blackpool?
I think. Where was Niamos? Oh, was that the one that where Saw Gerrera was on?
It could have been, yeah.
No, that again, I don't know where that was.
Another good little part, seeing Saw Gerrera. We knew he was going to be in it, but we didn't know in what sort of context.
No, that monologue he gave was absolutely stellar, wasn't it? It was such good. I mean, that was probably the best part of the episode. The scene that he was in, and again,
the back and forth between him and Luthen as well.
Yes, that was superb.
Really
so
good.
Really powerhouse. And again, we got to saw a couple of his troops from Rogue One. I think 2 tubes was there, and there was the huge white bantha-looking Panther. No, is it Bantha? What's the name in? Oh my god, Wampa. Sorry, Wampa. Right. Yeah, from Empire Strikes Back on Hoth.
Okay.
It looks like he's not one of those, but he
maybe
looks
a variation or something.
Yeah. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
So he was there, and then obviously in Rogue One he's on Jeddah. So be interesting to see if they do anything with moving him across there, or we find out a little bit more about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Saw's obviously he's still quite, he's still got an arm, he's still got both his legs, he's not using his breathing thing, so he hasn't been messed up yet. And so we might get to see that. And I think at the moment, because the Rebel Alliance hasn't been formed yet, he mentions 5 or 6 different rebel factions, and he won't work with any of them. So once the Rebel Alliance is formed, I think we'll find out why he's seen as an extremist in Rogue One when Mon Mothma mentions that he's an extremist, and they don't want to work with him because they're trying to be legitimate future government. Whereas if they've got someone like Saw Gerrera, who's probably as they're in their eyes are seen as a terrorist, he won't bring legitimacy to them. So yes, I think we're definitely going to see all of that sort of stuff.
Hopefully.
That'd be good.
So okay. I did want to do, because we did miss him out. Perrin is Mon Mothma's husband. I'm just going to do it, dead or alive.
I think he's working for the Empire already, and I think he's reporting on Mon Mothma's activities. So I think he'll probably end up dead, but it will be an accident or something like that. I don't think. Or perhaps Luthen or arrange. He'll find out that perhaps he's been informing on her, and Luthen will assassinate him somehow. Something along those lines. I like that. So I'm going to go dead. I'm going to go
dead before season 1's through.
I think so. Yeah, I think they're going to have from season 2. It's going to be a whole new ball game. So
a whole new cast, almost, to do dead or alive with.
Definitely.
I think he's going to make it. I think he'll make it through, but I think you're right. I think he probably is reporting to the Empire how everything she's doing. But I do think he'll make series 2.
Okay,
but I hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong. So you think Andy Serkis character? I can't remember his name. Oh wait, that's episode 8, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about 7 and 8. So,
okay, moving on.
I think. Well, no, I've been talking about 8 loads. I think Andy Serkis. He mentions he's got 279 days left on his sentence, and he doesn't want anyone to mess it up for him.
That's right.
But they already said that everybody's sentences have been doubled, because of what Andor did with the heist.
Because of the heist.
So while Andy Serkis is currently Mr. playing by the rules, I'm working with the Empire to get things done. If his sentence all of a sudden goes up, he's going to probably change his mind, and I think he might end up being one of the ringleaders to actually organize the escape. But I think he will end up dying in trying to escape from the prison. So I'm going to say dead.
Yeah, most of those are going to be dead, I think. I mean, so. One of them already died during the episode. We didn't learn his name, I don't think, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, excuse me. Moving on. So, Tales of the Jedi. Then, do you want to get started on that?
Yeah, I wish we could have an hour to talk about this because this. I mean, I love Andor. I've said nothing but amazing things about Andor, but I watched Andor first, and then I watched Tales of the Jedi, and I cannot say how much I loved this show. I think it was amazing. It was so nice again to see the Clone Wars animation and the characters, exploring the prequel era. I know that has a special thing in my heart, the prequel era anyway, but there was just the Dooku storyline I thought was the better of the two storylines.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm totally on board there.
I think Ahsoka's was good, and I love Ahsoka's one of my top 5 favorite characters in Star Wars. But I think Dooku had the depth that I was looking for. It basically told his beginnings of falling out of love with the Republic and the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
To him actually, thinking they were all corrupt and weren't there to actually serve the people, but they were there. The Jedi were being used to serve the wealthy and the rich and the senators, and then finally we saw him through his disillusionment with it all and the death of Qui-Gon finally make him tip over to the dark side completely and become Darth Sidious's apprentice. And I'm skipping over so much, but we don't have a lot of time, but that whole storyline was fantastic. The dialogue was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Give me more of that, please. It was really weird because Andor, as I say, is brilliant, but it's really dour, it's really dark, and it's quite depressing. And I suppose you could argue that both the storylines really for both the Dooku and Ahsoka they weren't like feel good, were they? They were all leading to something dark. But I don't know, it just felt because we were back with the Jedi again, and we were back with the Jedi Temple and the Empire taking over and how they coped with it and how they joined the dark side. In Dooku's case, it was really refreshing and lovely to be back in that era again after being sort of in the grey, dark, depressingness of Andor, and that's not a criticism of Andor because I think it's meant to be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I say I don't want to go into too long because I know we don't have a huge amount of time, but I love the Tales of Jedi, and I would actually in the future perhaps like to do an entire episode perhaps
dedicated to it,
and perhaps do each of the 6 episodes and talk in a bit of detail about each episode because I've got so much to say.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. How many times have you watched it then?
I've only watched it the once.
Have you? Yeah.
I just one thing I will quickly say is the thing I loved the most, and it's a silly little thing, but was there's a couple of scenes where they intertwined in the middle of the Phantom Menace. So you had the scene where Qui-Gon had come back and reported to the Jedi Council that he'd fought Darth Maul on Tatooine, and then you saw him walking through the corridors and telling Count Dooku. You saw Count Dooku deleting Camino from the Jedi archives, which linked into episode 2, as well as obviously his relationship with Master Cypher Diaz. And then right at the end of the episode, you saw that obviously Qui-Gon had been killed by Darth Maul, and Dooku finding out, and that making his final decision, that things needed to change, and he went over to the dark side and went to see Sidious, but actually blamed Sidious for it as well, which was a really nice touch. And it was kind of like, it's be really cool now to someone to edit the Phantom Menace and sort of insert those little extras into the movie. I know people on YouTube do that sort of stuff, and it would be really cool to see because Dave Filoni's basically just enriched that film even more. Just like with the Clone Wars, George and him, really fleshed out between episode 2 and 3. They've also now done a little bit with episode 1. So
I'm just going to say I don't have the time. So I don't have the time to make those edits. You're probably going to have to find someone else for that.
Probably get copyrighted as well.
To be fair, it's probably been done already.
I would imagine.
I imagine you can find it somewhere.
Absolutely.
So like you say, I really enjoyed Tales of the Jedi as well. So much good stuff, like with Dooku, because I completely agree. the Ahsoka stuff, I think the first episode was a little bit throwaway. I don't think it needed. It was just a convoluted way to say that she's a Jedi, which is, we all knew that. So maybe a bit more of, it would have been nice to see a bit more of her leaving the parents to go elsewhere. I don't know. But yeah, moving on to the Dooku arc, if you like. I mean, it all really came full circle, didn't it? I was quite surprised by that. I thought they were just going to be 6 standalone episodes. I didn't realize it was going to essentially tell a big story. But Dooku's episodes were really good. I think I said when the trailer came out, I was really looking forward to seeing more on Dooku as a Jedi. And it was really good. His voice, the voice actor, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was brilliant.
Corey Burton, I think, the guy who does Cad Bane's voice, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't it. I mean, obviously 2 of my favorite characters ever, but it was nice to have Liam Neeson and Ian McDiarmid back.
Yes.
Doing the voices.
I knew you'd be happy about that.
Yeah. More, please.
Yeah. Sorry. The ending in episode 2 I thought was quite sudden, because I think I was so engrossed that I forgot that they were just going to be 15-minute episodes, and I was expecting more. Obviously, as I say, it came full circle in a way, so we did get to see the progression, but it was really cool. And I thought there were like sort of parallels to Anakin's turn to the dark side with Dooku. Which
definitely
again,
some of the dialogue was
really
even
good.
the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was a couple of things, continuity errors that I noticed. The first was when Ahsoka was training in the Jedi Temple against those droids. You saw a young boy there with his master, and that was Caleb Dune, who turns out to be Kanan in Rebels.
Okay.
But when Ahsoka turns up in Rebels, Kanan claims to have never met her or know her. So that was a bit weird. And the other thing, which was really interesting, that someone else brought up to me was when Dooku goes to visit Sidious in the building that you see at the end of episode 2, that he meets him in. The Jedi have all headed off to Naboo to to Qui-Gon's funeral. And at the end of that film, you see them all stood around where he's getting burnt, and but Sidious is there, or Palpatine's there, sorry, in the funeral, sort of all them standing around in the funeral. But obviously Palpatine's there with Count Dooku in that building, so it's kind of like, well, hang a minute, he should be on Naboo with the Jedi Council at the moment. So there are a couple of small continuity errors, and I know I shouldn't really be too bothered because it's very small, but continuity is quite important to me. So I'm sure it'll be explained in a comic book.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so I mean, that's Tales of the Jedi. Sorry, I've got such a tickly throat tonight. Oh dear. Tales of the Jedi. Yeah. Shall we move on then to your ever-expanding collection?
Yeah, I was going to do a whole episode on this on its own, but I think we'd quickly pop it in here. I've got a bit of an addiction, I think. There's been lots of auctions recently, online auctions with Star Wars, and you probably remember we recorded an episode when I was in in the Lake District, not Cornwall, in the Lake District about a month ago now, I think it was.
It was, yeah.
And I'd done a really long walk. I think it was about an 8 or 9 mile walk, and I got home and I was really tired, and I was just flicking on my iPad, and I noticed there was an auction running literally there and then. So I thought, I'll have a quick look. Anyway, 3 hours later, I ended up with about 45 items that I'd bought at auction. But I stuck to just buying graded items. So everything I bought was AFA graded. Because for that, I don't know if you mentioned it before, but I obviously do buy to collect because I'm a huge collector, but I also do buy to sell as well. It's kind of a little side hustle that I have. And I bought a lot of it just to move on again on eBay. Please check out my eBay store. But I got some really nice items for myself to keep for my collection. And I'm sure we'll put some pictures up, but I got a lovely AFA graded 85 near mint plus Palatoy Star Wars Hoth Snowtrooper,
Right.
which is absolutely stunning. Obviously 1983, so that was really nice. I got another 1983 Kenner Klaatu Skiff Guard 75, excellent plus near mints, which was really nice for my collection. And then there was a couple of items that, because Andor obviously has come out, I thought would be good pieces to have. I bought an AFA graded uncirculated 85 near mint plus Mon Mothma on a Revenge of the Sith card. And it's really interesting. Obviously, I think I've mentioned it to you before, but she was in Revenge of the Sith, Genevieve O'Reilly, who plays Mon Mothma now, but they deleted the scene that she was in.
Right.
But they still made an action figure for that deleted scene. So I picked that up, which was really nice. Obviously, there was a Darth Sidious available, uncirculated 85.
Of course,
plus.
you bought that.
I bought that. Can't resist Darth
So
Sidious.
what's AFA stand for?
It's the Action Figure Authority, and they basically, it's an American. We have UKG, which is UK graded in this country, where we can send figures off to be graded. And in America, they have CAS and AFA. And basically, you just send your figure off. They encase it in a plastic case, acrylic case, and then they grade it and then send it back to you sealed, so you can't open it. And it's just a nice thing to have if you're a collector. You obviously would much rather have a graded card, than just in perhaps a star case. So yeah, and these were obviously all graded in the States, and then somehow they made their way over here to the UK. And as I say, they're all for auction. These most of what I bought were Revenge of the Sith carded figures, and I've never had them before, but some of the figures are really nice, and most of them are uncirculated, which means they never actually made it to a shop. They were graded from factory straight to the grading company, and that makes them even more special. So and I got them for very, very reasonable prices, because I don't think Revenge of the Sith carded items are particularly sought after, but the ones that I wanted, not yet, no, but the ones that I wanted were really, really nice. So I picked up a load of those. I got an uncirculated Darth Vader. I got an uncirculated Bail Organa.
And it looks like more vintage collection.
I didn't get any vintage collection. I got the vintage Palatoy and Kenner.
What's the one to your right, over your shoulder there?
Here.
Yeah, that's graded.
That's the Imperial Stormtrooper or Snowtrooper I was just talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's a 1983.
Oh wow!
Return the Jedi card, and it's absolutely immaculate. It looks gorgeous.
It looks it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some new vintage collection come in over the last couple of weeks, pre-orders, but let's not go into that in this podcast because I've got another auction that I did last week where I think I won about 60 carded items as well. So but we'll do that on another episode.
Yeah, I think we'll have to. Go over your addiction.
Yeah, so I mean, I did pick up quite a lot of nice stuff. But yeah, we'll put some pictures up if you like, just to so you can have a look. But yeah, my collection is getting huge, and if anybody's got any suggestions about how I can increase the space in this room behind me to fit more in, I would be extremely grateful because it's getting very difficult.
Yeah, leave that in the comments below, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, otherwise, I think that's it for this week. We've covered a fair amount. Including
I mean, there's so much more on the bullet points, but we just haven't got time.
We'll just leave it there, and we'll, we can pick up with the rest of it next time, I suppose. With all the new auction items that are coming through, we've got plenty to talk about. Yeah,
well, our next one will be the results from the challenge.
That's right. Yeah, tune in next time because I'm excited to see how much I beat you by. That's it for today then. Like and subscribe, rate and review, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.
Bye now.